I remember you said it's used to centralize words. So the caption here, this is how it's being displayed. So it will be at the center of the table. So anything that has to do with caption, the table will have to be at the center. So this is table rule CR. It means you are creating a new rule to input element. So the first rule is the edge. So this is the edge, and these are the contents in the edge. I have contact, country, and place. So this is it. You see it's in bold. Why? Because it is the edge of the table, as explained earlier. So to close the row in which the table edge is included, you have to close this tag /CR, then greater than, close the tag. Then to input the data in the row in the table head of which you have created, it will be TD, which means table data. So each data will be in a row of which the head was created. So these are the facts. According to my own understanding, I was able to do this manually, and so on and so forth. So if I still want to add more content to the table head, I can just say time. So if I should save this now, it will take effect here. You see, to add more content to it, and what do you want to be at the time? So let's say 02 PM. So now let's refresh it. You see to take effect. Now you see. So and so on and so forth. Can you still hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly, and I'm loving your presentation. Yeah, are you
Thank you
done?
very much. And yeah, I'm done, sir.
That is that is a very brilliant presentation. I love that. You actually understand the HTML table aspects. Yes, you understand that very, 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 very well. So let me stop your presentation. Yeah. So the last class we talked about HTML tables, and I made mention of the table tag itself, and inside the table tag where we can have different rows, and each different rows we can have the table head, and also we can have the table data. You understand? So and I made some few example. Let me try and open my folder. Okay, let me just open this from Visual Studio Code. Yeah. So to create a to create a table, we need to first write our table tag by writing the keyword table like this, and inside it we can have the row, the first row If we like, we can say, okay, we want to use this first rule as the heading. Okay, first rule will be, we have, if you want to use it for heading, we have the tag for heading, which we can use the, which it is the tiered keyword. I can set serial number, then my second heading, the name. You know, I copy the parts and I go to my um I go here and I open it. You can see it. So this is the first heading, which is the first column inside the first row, and the second column inside the first row. So that is just how all these things work. And the first row is my heading. Then I can now start inputting my data in the second row, which is the first data have to be number one. The second data can say uh Martin as the first person name or something, you know. I save it, I check my browser. What's it called? Okay, you can see that is it. And I made mention of a particular attribute, which is the border attribute. If you want to put the border around it,
Hello,
yes.
I'm not seeing the screen, sir. Please,
Oh,
I just joined with another Gmail right now on my system.
I'm sorry, I forgot to share my screen. Oh gosh, oh god. I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for that. My mind just keep it. Yeah. Now, you should be able to see it now. Thank you. So you can see it now, I believe. So good. So we have it, you know, this is the border. I have put a border inside this, and I can start inputting another rule, which will be number two, number three, stuff like that. So that's just table. So today's topic, we are going to be talking about, we are in section 7, and we should be able to be done with our HTML course this week. So we are in section 7, and it is sectioning a web page. What is sectioning? What do we mean by sectioning a web page? And also we are going to be talking about semantic block level elements. And also we are going to be talking about some tags like the article tags, something else, so some semantic tag like article tag, section tag, header tag, main tag, footer tag, body tag. Those are also semantic block elements, semantic block elements. Understand? So what do we mean by sectioning a web page? Copy this. So we said sectioning a web page. Sectioning a web page is just dividing your web page into different section, different dividing your web page into different section. Like we can have our header and said this is how we want to divide our, let me create an HTML. uh I'll call this sectioning .html. Yeah, and I have my HTML skeleton. Change the title. So let's say the client gave us this project for us to build the website that we have header, we have footer, it will have sidebar and stuff like that. It depends on the client specification of what he need inside the website. Please, I hope you can hear me and also see my screen very well. If you can hear me and see my screen, please notify. Okay, brilliant. So as I'm saying, we can have different section, and we can divide our page into different section. Like we can have the header. There's a particular semantic tag, semantic element for that, which is the keyword header. You understand? Then we can have the we can have a particular section that we actually list the that we can use to showcase. You understand? But we can even have the main. Also, we can have the footer. You're getting my point. So this is the header, main area, footer area, stuff like that. Just save it and go to copy my parts. So and let's view it inside the browser and let's see what happened. You see what happened? Yeah, you see what happened? This is what we see. This is how we divide our page. This particular web page, we divide it into three parts, which is we section it into three parts. If you don't want to use divide, you section into header. This is the header section, the main section. You know what? But how can we section our page properly? Like I said, it depends on the criteria of what the user actually need. But this is an example. This is an example. Let's example, we have a particular section. There's a section there is a section tag. What this section tag does is just like a div tag, but it's a block, it's a semantic block element, which is it occupy all the space. It occupies any space that it sees. You understand? So this section we can use it to group things into different section. Let's for example, the first section we want it to be a welcome. Like I just said, H2, welcome to my course, you know, welcome to my course. Then inside after the H2, I can just write a p tag and I can just write a Django word, I mean a lorem word, lorem 30. I save it, go back. What do you see? This is a particular, this is a section. Can you see how I group it? You can see that it is inside this section. This section is a tag, like I told you, is a tag. So as a block is a semantic element. So it's a tag. It's just like div tag. When you write div tag, understand? So it's a tag. So and by default, it has some attributes, some styles that come with it. That is, it takes all the spaces that it sees in in the horizontal way. You are getting my point. So and also you see all this particular semantic section tag is responsive by default. You are getting me? We are not yet to responsive design. You understand? We are going to be talking about that topic in CSS. It's not an HTML topic. I just made mention. What do I mean by so when something is responsive? That it is that when a particular web page is both fits on desktop and on on mobile and also on any device that we use to view that particular website. You understand? So that is how this thing is. So let's say after the welcome message, we want to have another section. So section, can you see it is below this section? This section I've finished. I can just write a comment here. Section start. Okay, I can just say first section start. I believe you all know what is comment in HTML. First section end. It's just a way to let people know what you are doing in this code. Section, second section start, section, second section end, stuff like that. So this is my second section. And what I want to do, I want to have another H2 that we said contact us. So inside the contact us, I will have a p tag that will have my phone number 091221144662. You know, I can also have a p tag, another p tag that will be email. Like I just said, contact@gmail.com. Stuff, anything I like. When I save, I can save it now and also view it on. What do you see? You can see I have my contacts in H2. I have my phone number, stuff like that. So it's just a way to actually divide, sectioning the page is just a way. What we really did there, what we've done so far is we section this page, into different section. You understand? I have my welcome section, my contact section, stuff like that. So that is that about sectioning a web page. You understand? I believe you all understand that. So also we have semantic block level elements, which is what I've already explained. A semantic elements are the element that they have meaning. Yes, there are some tags that doesn't have meaning, but we still use them. But there are some tags that by default they have meaning. And what do I mean by tag that have meaning? Those tags are very, very, very important. Yes, it's very, very important. Especially when we are building, maybe when we are building something that deals with that must be on search engine like Google, like what's it called? Like Yandex.ru, all this big, big search engine. You know, the spider, the bot crawler, when they are crawling our web page for indexing, when they get to that particular the particular semantic element, they will actually understand that okay, this is what this element is or actually doing here. Maybe we want Google to crawl a particular post on our blog. So our post title, we can actually write it in H1. You understand? We can wrap it with H1 so that it will be bold, and Google bots or any bot that is indexing, that is crawling that particular page at that moment, we actually understand. And we can wrap all our content in article. This is what I'm saying. Let's say we have a blog. Let me wrap this in another section. So maybe we have a blog. Let me say H2. So the blog title, let me use H3. The blog title is this. Let me just use lorem 10. That's okay. Lorem 10 is too much. Lorem 5. That's the blog title. So the blog content, we can use the article, the semantic tag called article. We can put our post description here. Let me save it and see what happened. You see what happened? Nothing actually different here, but in the presence of Googlebot will understand that this particular section is a post section because of this tag. You understand? So that's just how it is. That is what we know as semantic block level element. We have a lot of them, and we've used a lot of them. One of them is the head tag. If Google is crawling your website, when Google get to this thing, this particular tag, it knows that okay, this everything that is here is what I will use to actually define this information, this page information. You are getting my point. And that one is the body. It actually makes sense to you, and also it makes sense to the search engine bot that is going to crawl this page. You understand? So they are just a tag, a predefined tag. You understand? Another one, and another one is the section tag. You understand? We have the article tag. We have the header. You are getting me? We have the header. We have the main tag. It's just like this section. You can change the main, stuff like that. We have the main tag. We have the, I hope you can actually see my this thing very well. Yeah. So we have the main tag. We have the article. We have the nav bar. Like the nav, if you want our site to have a navigation bar. You understand? We have the, what was it called? We have the footer. We have the aside. If we want our website to have a sidebar, we can use this particular semantic element to define a tag. I mean, to define a sidebar. Maybe we want to place advertisement in that sidebar. Use the keyword aside. So a lot of them. So they are predefined, and they are semantic block element, HTML elements. Yes. Yes, and because they take a space, take all the space. You understand? So that is that. Like this nav now. Let's say this is our website. We want you to have a navigation bar. We can just use this nav, the keyword nav. Then we have our UL, LI, and in that LI we can have our tag, which we put inside href tag, which is link tag. We have the home, it will be home, and it will be slash, stuff like that. And also our second tag will be music, it will be slash music. We have video, it will be slash video, stuff like that. If we save it, we are actually putting it inside this nav bar, navigation bar. So by default, we know that this nav bar represent a section for a page that links to other page. You understand? That's nav bar. And if Google is crawling this website or any search engine, it will understand. It will understand that this navbar has some link that is related to this particular page or some external page. You understand? If I save it now and I refresh it, can you see it? Guys, this is our, maybe you want to go to the music tag, you can click on, the music page. You can click on the music page. If you are going to the video page, you can click on the video page, and so on and so forth. So that's just all this about this semantic block level element. The article tag, which we've already talked about, the article tag we can use to represent content, just like what we did here, to represent content. You are getting my point. So we use to represent content. So that's that about it. So yeah. So let's talk about HTML form. I think we are done with this section 7. Before we move to section 8, please, if there's anything you don't understand in this section 7, please raise up your hand. Let's treat the question, please. And if you are good to go, raise up your hand. Let's move to the next topic. If you want us to move to the next topic. Okay, we move to the next topic, which we'll be talking about HTML form. HTML form. What is HTML form? HTML form is just a way to receive input in our website from our clients. What do I mean by the client? I mean those people that is browsing your website. HTML form is a way to collect input from them. Input. And those inputs we can send it to the backend server for one or two processing and give them response if necessary. So HTML form is just a real life form. Maybe you want to apply for a work and they give you form for you to fill in your name, your detail, the same thing we have inside HTML. We also have HTML form that we can use to collect details. And what is the use case scenario of HTML form is when we are building a particular page that allow people to register. So we use HTML form to collect the person username, password, email, and stuff like that, date of birth, anything that we need that's related to that particular website. We collect the details and we send it to the database and to the backend to save it into our database. So that anytime they want to log in, they will just put in that particular login details. And if we still have it inside our database, then we let them to go to their dashboard or anywhere on the website that require authentication and authorization. You understand? So that is that about HTML form, and we are going to go deeper into HTML form. Firstly, we are going to talk about the form tag itself, the HTML form tag itself, and other tag that is related to HTML. I'm going to create a new HTML file. I'll call it form.html, and I'm going to write question mark for it to generate HTML skeleton. So to write a form in HTML, we use the keyword, the HTML tag called form in small letter. We do our thing in small letter. So our lesser than sign followed by a form. Yeah, this is our form. This is a If we write this form like this, it is a blank form. Doesn't have anything inside it, and we can prove it. Let me copy this part and let me go and paste it here. Can you see? It is what? It is empty, or it is an empty form. Nothing is inside. It's just a tag. It's just an empty tag. Let's just say it's an empty tag because nothing is here. Unless we put something. Yes, sir. Unless we put something. And even, yeah. But you can't put anyhow thing inside a form tag. It's different. A form tag is unique. Instead, you just write your div tag and put anything you want to put there. But a form tag is unique. So what can we put inside a form tag? We can put our input. That is what those user is going to input. We can have our input, and we have different type of input. We have the input. Also, we have the test area. We have the we have the test area. We have a lot of, and inside the input, we can use attributes to change the behavior of those inputs, which we are going to practicalize in tonight. You understand? So, firstly, let's say this. Um, let us put it inside the section. Let's say we want to build a registration form. You understand? We want to build a registration form. So let us replicate it as a website. Welcome to my page. So I'm going to have I will wrap this inside a section, and it will have H5 registration. Then under this H5, I'm going to put that form here. You understand? I'm going to put that form here, and inside the form, then we can start putting our input. And what is the first input? We want them to input their username, their password, and their email. That's all what we need. So to put input is an empty tag. I believe you still understand the difference between container tag and empty tag. A container tag is a tag that has a closing tag. Example like div, example like p, example like uh example like h5, h6, h3, everything. So empty tag are tag that doesn't close. Example is image. They doesn't have closing tag and they can't contain any other tag. Example is image, what's it called? A lot of them. Yes, sir. So don't forget about container, the two different tag that we have. So we are going to have this input tag. This input tag is an empty tag. You understand? Your lesser than sign followed by the keyword input and you close it. That's all. That's input. It doesn't close. You can't close it with slash input. It won't work. Input doesn't close. It's a self-closing. It closes by itself. You understand? You close it by itself by putting your forward slash and then the greater than sign to close it. You don't go and be doing the slash inputs, you know. In fact, you can already see, so it doesn't work like that because we can't put anything here. That means we just did rubbish. If we view it, can you see we've done rubbish? You understand? So it doesn't close. It's a self-closing. So this is how it must be. So this is our input. This is our input. So this is our input. We can, yeah, and what do we want to put there? We want them to put username, email, and password. So this is input. Input means it's just a small box where they can input that particular detail we are asking from them. Let's save it and let's view it. What do we see? Can you see we see this small rectangle shape tag. If we click it, we can actually input something inside. You are getting my point. We can actually input something inside. Let's say my username is Dean. I can put Dean here. If it's not it, I can delete it and put something. You understand? So it is just a way to collect input from clients. That means from people who is browsing this particular website. You understand? Let's say I'm the user, I'm a visitor on this site. The system can use this form to collect my input. Maybe I want to register into the website or something like that, you know. So now we have this input, but it doesn't look fine because we are asking for three inputs. Now let's put three input here first. Yeah, this is three inputs. We are asking for the username, the password, and the email. But how will I know the place that I'm going to which of these inputs will contain my username, which of these inputs will contain my password, and so on and so forth. How am I going to know? We have been able to actually build an input inside our form. But how can we differentiate it from each other? We can make use of some tags. We can make use of some attributes, not tag. So one of the attributes that we can use to differentiate is the attribute we know as type. So inside our inputs, empty tag can contain only tag. It can contain only attribute, sorry. Empty tag can only contain attributes. It can't contain any other tag. It is only container tag like this one that can contain tags like this, or this H5 can contain anything. So inside this type, we can actually input the type of input this input was. So we have different type. You understand? So now we have the text, we have the number, we have the date. That is if you want to allow them to input date. But let's just start with text and we just put text. So that means this first form will only contain anything text. It can't contain any other thing. If we input any other thing there, it will convert it to text. That's the work of this. That's because we have actually used this attribute. We said attribute is a modifier, so we've used this attribute, the type attribute, to modify what this particular input does by putting the text here. We have different type of things that we can put there. We can put number. So that means the first form, we can only put number inside this first form. We can't put any other thing inside this form. If I refresh, can you see? You can only put number, and you can see this up and down arrow. So it shows that we can increase the number. You can see the number is increasing. Let me start with 1. You can see 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I can decrease it. You know, you remember that when we put text inside here, it doesn't show that particular icon. Let me refresh again. It means this is just only text. You understand? But now that we change the type attribute to number, you know, it's it it give us these particular features for us to increase the number. You understand? So, and also, it's not only this type. We have dates. Maybe we want them to input dates. Just put dates. So this should be dates. You can see date, month, year. If we click it now, it give us dates. Like I said, I want to go and choose. I want to put my date of birth, my son date of birth. Like I said, I born my son in 2010. You understand? I'll put the month. The month is April. I will put the date. The date is, just anything. The date is 12. You understand? I've turned this input from text to date. I can also turn it to time. Time. Can you see it is now time? Just said 11:32. You see that type of stuff? So we actually use this type attribute to change the behavior of these inputs. If you want to let it include date and time, I said date and time, date time. You understand? And refresh it. It will consist of the date and also consist of the time. But I don't think it works on uh Firefox. I think the local one will work. Yeah, the local, it will be local. So we can put the date and also the time at the same time, you know. And also we can even spice it up and said, okay, we want them to choose their favorite color. We can just change this type to color. Can you see HTML? HTML is a very sweet language. You see, if they click it now, they'll be able to see variety of colors. Can you see it? They can change it. I can say my favorite color is this orange. I can say okay. Can you see it? So if you want to receive the input, you can use JavaScript to receive the input and send it to your backend for processing. To do. So we have so many type attributes. It's not only this. So as time is going on, if you will be touching all these things in our projects, we are moving to CSS, moving to JavaScript. Yes, and we have the radio. Yeah, we have the radio type. That one we can use to select it. Maybe you want them to choose if they have, there are some particular website. You will see a radio button that will show that will ask for your gender, which you can select. Maybe you are a boy or you are a girl. Those are the radio. And also we have the checkbox. The checkbox, as the name goes, it's an empty box that you can check. Maybe are you tall? You can say yes, I'm tall, or no, I'm not tall. Stuff like that. So that is the type attribute. So in this our own practice, we just want the text because we want to collect the username, the email, and password. We can actually add more attributes here because if we differentiate this type now, let's save it and refresh. Still yet we don't know what we can actually put here where our username will fit. So we can use some particular tag and some particular attribute to put a placeholder there. So there's an attribute called placeholder, as the name suggests, it's just a dummy text that will be there before you actually input the main attributes. You can just say enter your user name. Yeah, I can save it and refresh. What do you see? I see this my dummy text, enter your username. So and if I put my username now, it will disappear. My username is Dean. Can you see? So it just make your website to be more interactive. It make the people that is going to be visiting your website to actually understand your website very, very well. You understand? So if I click it again, it will put it there that I said you must enter your user name. You understand? So if you are a first time user on getting to this website, you know that this first page, it is requesting for your username. So let's move forward. We are done with this. We are done with this first tag. So let's go to our second tag, which is email. So we can put the type. We have a type called email. Um, this we only accept only email, and we can put the placeholder. I said enter your email. We save, we refresh. What do we see? We in our second input we see enter your. So by default you know that I'm going to input email here, and you must input email. If you did not input email, this page will screen. It will scream onto your face. Let's try it. Let's try. Let's say I put 1 2 3 instead of email and I click on enter. What do you see? It does nothing because it said please enter an email address. It is request for email address until I said at gmail.com, and it won't work also because this is not a perfect a correct and a valid Gmail. You can use it said input your Gmail or your mail, I mean your mail. So that's just how you can use attributes to modify your tag. Then the third tag, it will be, I mean the third input, it will be what we said, it will be password. So we write another type. We have the type for password. Type password. Yeah. And we can put the placeholder, say enter your password. And if we save it now, refresh, we see the placeholder enter your password. And if I enter watch closely what happened if I enter my password. Can you see? So it's astericing my password so that maybe I'm browsing this website in front of my friend, they will be able to see what I'm typing. It's because of these attributes. You are getting me? If I change this attribute to text now and I click on and I refresh, you see they will be able to see what I'm typing because the type, it is not password, it is text. So if I change it back to password now and I click on save and I refresh the page, it will blank it. They won't be able to see what I'm typing. So we can use JavaScript. There are some website that there will be a very small icon beside it. It will be eyes icon. Let me see if I have a particular website that does this, that have these particular features. I'm coming. I believe so some of you will understand what I'm saying, but let me um there's a particular website that I've been saying you can use the website to make money. Let me okay, let me use ads this website, textarea. Let me browse this website. Let me try to register. I want to bring out that features. And there are some website that exactly is what I want. You see, this is the form and this is the inputs. It asks for the login, but this is where I'm going. You see, if I put the password now, let's say I'm alone while I'm down this website and I want to know what I type so that I won't make mistake. I can just click on this eye icon. It show the password, and if I unclick it back. So what really happen here is they are using JavaScript to listen to a click event on this eye icon, and when they click on this icon, they change this input type to password if it is in text, and if it is in text they change it back to password. Let me show you so that you can see it very very well. This is this tag. This is the tag. Let me put it. This is the tag. If you check the type, can you see the type? Check my cursor. If you check the type, you will see that the type is password. Now watch closely. Let me change it now. Let me click on this icon. If I click on the icon, what do you see? Come back here. Come back here. The type now is what? Is text. So they are using JavaScript to what? To actually change the behavior of this input. That is the work of JavaScript, and that's what I want to show you. So that is what we actually did here manually by ourselves, because I changed it to text and also I changed it to password. But we won't be doing that manually. We will use JavaScript to what? To manipulate that. And it's a very brilliant features. It's a good features. Most of our mobile application that we use, when we are registering or when we are logging in, we normally see all these things. You understand? So that's just one of the that's the work of tag. I mean that's the benefit of attribute as a modifier. You are getting me? So we have gotten everything that we need. Let's say we want them to input their profile picture. We can have another input, and we will change the type to file. You can have the place that I said select, I mean upload your picture. If I refresh it now, what do you see? You see this part, another input. It is now a file input. If we click on this input now, it will take us to uh, our file manager, our explorer, for us to select image. If I click it now, you can see it take me to where I can be able to select image, and I can select image. Let me select this picture. Can you see it? I have this picture. I've selected picture, and I will upload it. So that's just the work of inputs when we are building a form. So but we don't need this. What we need now is submit button. So we can just create a button with the button tag, button, and I will say register. Can you see it? I now have register button. That is once I'm done with everything, I will just click on register or login or anything this form is actually talking about. Hope you are getting my point. Now, in this button, you can add a time attribute to it also, so that the button will act as exactly what we want it to act, because we can have a two type of button. We can have the button that will reset everything that we've done here. Let us even particularize that. Let us have two buttons. The first button, it will be, let me say the first button will be reset. So with that is when we are maybe when we are trying to register, maybe we've done a lot of mistakes, we can just reset, we can just click on the button and it will empty everything that we type. You understand? So we can get that by doing by writing the type attributes. You can just type and it will be reset. You can put reset. And this for the second one, you can put the type as submit. You can see the keyword submit. Let's try it. So I put my username Dean. I put my email dean@gmail.com, and I put my password. You know, if maybe I don't want to register anymore, I made some mistake, I just click on this reset button. What do you see? It turned everything to empty, all the inputs and everything that I've input so far. It's empty everything. I can start again. I can still reset. So this button is good sometimes. You understand? It's good sometimes. You can include it in your project. And also when I'm done with everything, then I can register. You are getting me? I can register. Now see what happened now. See what happened. I've put my username and my password, but I forgot to put my password and I click on register. It goes because this page refresh. If you actually check it refresh. That means I've sent it to the database, I mean to the backend. If we actually have backend in this website, but in this particular, this is just a sample, we don't have a backend. But let's just say we've sent it. How are we going to have a username and email but we don't have password? It's not that the user deliberately did not input the password, but he forgot. So we can actually we have some attributes that we remember this particular user that he must provide password if he's going to register to this website. And that attribute is what we call the required attribute. Inside this password, maybe after this placeholder attribute, you can just put the required. This required attribute doesn't have anything like this. No, you can just put it like this. You can just write required. Or if you are a type of if you are a type of user that love designing, I mean like putting too much of spicy, FEC, you can still put it. But you don't need to put anything inside the quotes. Once you have specified this particular keyword, before a user will be able to submit this form, he must he must input password inside this. He must fill this input because this input has been marked as required. Let's try it out. I refresh, I put my username Dean, I put my email dean@gmail.com and I click on register. What happened? What do you see that happened? It screamed to me that hey, you must use a password. I'm coming. There's a particular extension that I'm using. Let me remove the extension. I'm coming. Let me remove the extension. Colorzilla. No, this is not the extension. Oh god. Because I want you to actually understand something. Okay, this is it. I don't want this extension again. Let me remove it. I will do it later. It is called fake filler. If you are a very lazy type and you don't want to register to the website and don't want to be typing all these things, you can just use that particular what's it called, particular extension, and it will fill all the field for you. So now let's try it again. So I have my username Dean and I put my email dean@dean.com or anything that we want. Then if I click on register, see what happened. What is this again now? Oh god. Unlike this, let me try and open this inside a private tab. Like that's not what I wanted to screen. Then as gmail.com, something I don't know. Gosh. And my browser is fuck. There's still a particular extension here that's generating password and I don't want it. Don't want it to generate password. Oh god. Oh god. Anyway, what I just want to say is that if you try this thing inside your browser now, when you click on that register, it will show you, it will tell you that you must input yes, this is it. Please fill out this field. It will require you the submitting of this form will not go. You can see that it's still bringing this thing. Even if I click out and I click on enter, it will still bring it's now telling me that hey, this particular input field has been marked as required and you must put something or else oga you are not going anywhere, and it's because of these attributes. You see it? If I remove this attribute now, I can register for free. Without input, I mean I can register without inputting anything inside this password. So you will surely need this thing because there are some user that when we are in a rush, when we are registering, we might forget something. But if this required attribute is in place, it will remember us that, okay, don't rush. Make sure you put something here. You're getting my point. So that's just it about input tag and different type of attribute that you can use. We have a lot of attributes. We use the remember read only attribute. Let's say we have the read only attribute. Let's say this read only what this read only attribute only does is that you won't be able it won't allow you to input something inside this field. It will now stand as a read only. You can only be able to read it. You can't change anything there. Can you see it? Can you see I can't put anything here, and I'm trying to put anything. Here now I can be able to put here I can be able to put it. But this enter password, I can only read it. I can't put anything here. So that's sometimes you might need that the requirement might come that you might need the read only, and there's no way you will surely need read only. You might use read only tag in one or two of your projects later on and stuff like that. We also have another tag, and I mean another attribute. It's called what's it called? I'm coming. It's not autocomplete. Yeah, autocomplete email. See what this autocomplete does. Maybe it actually help you complete automatically try to complete your this particular field for you. Let's say I have a lot of inputs, and if I click on, let's say I click on flexible, it will suggest me some emails that I've used under this flexible, I mean some email that I have that it is flexible.com or something, or some recent email that I've used. It will try to suggest it for me to use it. I don't know why it's not okay. It's not that I've just put autocomplete. I actually need to, yes, now it is on. Yeah, okay, I will need to put on autocomplete. Let me try and see if it will work. Let me see the tag that I put it. I put it inside this email. Okay. So I can set, I don't know why it's not working. Also work. It will just bring in some of your password, I mean some of your email that you've used or anything. If you put it inside your username, it will pop up some previous username you've used to register on some website to pop it, and you can just select on any one of them. So that's just it about input tag inside the form tag when you are building a form. So we are going to go to the test area, the test area tag. But before we go to the test area and input tag are similar, but they accept different inputs. But before we go to that test area, please, if you understand this input tag, please signify, let me know. Mark, are you there? If you are there, please raise up your hand, and if you understand this input tag, raise up your hand, please. Okay, I think it's not there. Okay. Um, coming. Okay. Mark, if you are there, please raise up your hand, please. Raise up your hand, please. If you are there. So, and if you are not there, that's not a problem. So let's move to, okay, good. Let's move to this test area tag. The test area tag is used to collect something like we use it to collect input that is bigger than this input. I mean that is bigger than input tag. What type of input are we talking about? Maybe when they are registering, we want to collect their biography. You are getting my point. So that box it's usually bigger than this input. Input is just to collect word, just simple word. But we use test area to collect word that will require us to press the enter key. You understand? To drop the enter key down for more word. So to actually get it, we write our letter down sign followed by the word test area, greater than sign. it will automatically close it. This is a closing tag. This is a container tag. It's not like this inputs. Can you see? So this text area is different from this input, because input is an empty tag. This text area is not an empty tag. We can put something inside. You understand? Write something here. And let's see what happened. What do we see? We actually see a bigger input field that's bigger than this input tag, and we can even expand it. So we can use that to write different type of things. My name is something something something. We can drop that, drop. So I don't want to explain much about this test here, but you already understand how it works and what you can. By now, you should be thinking that what can I use this thing for? You should be thinking like 5 different use cases that you can use this test area tag for. You understand? So we can put a placeholder there also. I just said placeholder, write something here. So we save it and we refresh our page. Right, we see something here. Let me drop it. Let me refresh it very well. Okay, so we see this placeholder, we can write something. You understand? So inside this text area, we can actually press enter key to drop our cursor down for us to continue writing what we are writing. Why we can't do that inside input type? Because if we do that inside input type, we are actually submitting the form. You understand? If you can try that on your system to try to press enter key, you see that you're actually submitting your form. But here, you can do that. You can be writing different type of, inside our text area. So it's similar to this. It's just that input tag is an empty tag, while this text area is a container tag. And also we can make use of drop down tag key inside the text area. Why we can't use that? We can't press enter key or try to drop a text down or write a word that have different paragraph inside input tag. So those are the clear difference. You understand? So I won't explain much about that. Also, we have the button tag, which we have already used. So we have the button tag. These are the button tag. This button tag is not that we must always use it inside our form. We can use button tag outside of our form. Oh. Yes, we can use outside our form. Say click me, stuff like that. So button tag is not that it must always be inside your reset button. You understand? We can use it outside of your form. You understand? So we have the button tag, we have the select. Let's talk about this select tag. We've talked about this form tag, which is the tag itself, the form tag itself. Let's talk about this select tag, and we're going to stop there tonight. What if in a case, maybe while they are registering, we want them to select their country? We can actually write a form that will say enter your country, and they can be able to enter their country. But what we want them to be able to select their country among list of country. You know, that type of a form makes sense sometimes. It make your site more lively. You understand? So we can do that by writing the keyword select inside our form. Select. Can you see it? It is a container tag. We drop it down. Inside that select, then we can have different type of option. We just write the keyword inside that select option, and we put Nigeria, maybe the first country. Second option, Ghana. Second option, third option, I'm sorry, South Africa. And fourth option, we're going to have four options. We can have, I don't want to mention any foreign country. I want to mention African country here. We can have Guinea, we have Guinea, the sow, stuff like that. So let's refresh it and see what happened. What do we see? You can able to see this our select tag with a drop down menu icon. If we click it, if we expand it, it will list all that other options inside this select tag, and we can be able to select, maybe I'm from South Africa or I'm from Guinea-Bissau. You understand? So that's just it about this select tag. You are getting me? We have a lot of tag oh. We have a lot of tag that we can use with HTML form. You understand? We have the radio tag that we can use inside HTML. Maybe we want them to select their gender. Are you a male or a female? Let's try that. Yeah. Let's say select gender. Let's wrap it inside the div tag. So it is an input oh. Don't forget it's an input, but we just use attribute to change it. Input instead of text, use video button. So we can put the value there. I said male. This value is an attribute that we can use to specify the value of this input. So when we are using JavaScript to get it, this is what JavaScript will get anytime they select this radio button. You can have female. Then you can also have the third option, the third radio button, which will be undisclosed, because there are some people who doesn't like to disclose their gender. Those are the gay people, the gay and the lesbian people. So can you see? So if I click on this radio button now, and if I use JavaScript to query what I input, it will show me male. You understand? It will show me male. So that's that about this input tag. You can use CSS to you can use CSS to design this for us to show. Maybe you can even put inside a tag. You understand? Then inside the span we can have something like male. Let me see if this will work. Let me just refresh it. Yeah, it actually worked good. This is what I want. Can you see how I just did it? Let me copy one time and replace those words. Instead of second female, I'm going to have females. Yeah, the third, I'm going to have undisclosed. This is what I want to achieve. I put this input inside a p tag, and I put this word male so that they can know that they are selecting male. You are getting my point. So you just need to make your site more interactive and more understandable. You understand? So maybe I'm not a male. I can just click that. Hey, I'm a female. We can't select three things at the same time. The reason why is that these things are not grouped together. And how can we group them together? We use the name attributes. I think, yeah. Yeah, let me see if it is name attributes. There's a particular way I used to group this thing together. Let me see, and at the end of the day, they can have different type of. I can be able to click on. Okay, good, yeah. So I have the name attributes, which means they are the same thing, but they are grouped together. It's not the more we must use R. Just call it gender something, so that we can be able to select one out of these three things. I need to select one. You understand? So that's just we've also already built a complete form. You understand? Then when you want to use CSS to design it, that is our own this thing. We can use CSS to design it. Let me try and use CSS to design it. Don't worry about yourself. We haven't reached CSS aspect. I'm just trying to you know use CSS to design it. Let me say I want this background to be tomato color, and I want the width to be 50%. Yes, and I want the padding to be 10 pixel. And you are getting my point. You build websites, did our registration form, and it's looking glancing and it's beautiful. You understand? So that's just it. HTML is the structure, while we just use CSS to beautify it. Simple as that. And we're going to use JavaScript to get all the input that our user enter and send it to our database to register this particular user. That's just web development. Nothing is so special about all this. You understand? So I think I'm going to stop here tonight. Our next class it will be this section 9, which where we are going to finish this our HTML section. Then our next this thing will be here on the CSS, which I will write the course outline for CSS also. So until then, we've stopped at this HTML form. In our next class, we're going to talk about audio and video tag. That is if you want to input audio and video inside your website. Maybe you want them to play video, you want to play, or you want to add music. Maybe you are building a blog system and you want them to play that music before they download it. So you can just do that. You'll be able to do that with HTML, this HTML audio tag and video tag. So I believe you guys understand this tonight's topic, which is the HTML form. Talk about the form itself, which is the actual form itself. When we talk about the input tag, the text area, the button, the select button, and also how we can use the different attributes to change the behavior of all these tags. You understand? So if you understand all this particular aspect, please raise up your hand. Let me see you. Okay, brilliant. So before we close tonight, please, it is time for question and answer. If you have any question or anything that you don't understand, please unmute yourself and ask your question. Let me answer you.
Hello, Mr. Flexible.
Yeah,
Hello, 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 hello.
I can hear you perfectly. Ask your question, please.
Okay, my question is that inside the input of the HTML,
Yeah.
so what are the limits of the text feed size? What are the limits? Maybe you want to input your password now. We can say our password can be long as any as we want. But what are the limits? Do
Limit.
you understand my question, sir?
I can't understand it very well. Limit as how?
Limit of the text feed side. Limit of the text feed.
Okay, like the maximum character
Yes.
that you can input inside an input tag, right?
Yeah, yes. You get it.
Okay,
Yes,
good.
yes.
By default, the maximum character you can input inside an input tag is 524,288 characters. 500 and coming is 524,288. Any word that is greater than this, it will be cut off. You understand? It will be cut off. So that's just by
Ah,
default. But we have a particular attribute that we can use to actually specify. There's no way that you can input 500,000 words inside an input tag. What are you typing? Is your username longer than that? You understand? So there's no way you can actually exceed this. Because they say, what is your email? Are you going to my email is something, and it will reach 100,000 length. So it is impossible. But for us to save, to make more our page more interactive, we can specify, we can actually, maybe we want their password to be, how will I say it? Maybe we want their password to be just the minimum of 8. I mean the minimum of 4. That is more their password must be greater than 4 or 4. And also their password must not be greater than 8. You understand? So we can use this attribute called min length. That is minimum length. So the minimum length, we want it to be 4. Then the max length, you want it to be 8. So if you input anything more than 8, this thing will bring an error message for you that oga, what you type is more than what they've specified inside me using these attributes. So let's save, let's refresh, and let's go to our password. Let's put 1 2 3. Okay, yeah. We said the minimum is 4, and let's click on enter. Okay, it's asking for my email, sd.something.com. What do you see? It said, please use at least 4 character. You are currently using 3 character because we've specified that minimum of the character that we need for this input to be valid is 4, and the maximum is 8. So let's enter 4. If we enter 4, it will work. Can you see? The page have been sent. You understand? It's work. But let's say we enter more than 8. Let's say my password is this. It won't even go. It will stop you at 8. Yes. Can you see? You can be hearing my keyboard. I can't type anything again. It has stopped at 8. Let's see it again. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. 9. Can you see? 9 is not pressing. So we've been able to actually achieve that using these particular attributes. You understand? So there's a particular attribute also called mass. Instead of minimum length, we can use mass length. Mass, min and mass. How this work is different from how this minimum length and maximum length work. The minimum length and mass length will not allow you to exceed that particular. Once you have reached 8, it won't allow you to enter 9. But the min and mass attribute will allow you to enter it. It's just that when you want to click on enter, it will scream to your face that oga, you've exceed this thing. But I don't think so. It is supported inside, what's it called? It's not supported inside Chrome Firefox. Yeah, yeah, I think, yeah, it's not supported inside or something. Or this particular this particular attribute is not working again. But the one that is working is this minimum length and the maximum length. So once it has reached what you specify, it won't allow you to enter any other character. You are getting my point. So that's how it is. I hope I've been able to answer your question, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Please, if there's any question, you can ask again. Let's proceed. Mark, no any question, right? Okay. I'm going to give you an assignment. I think our next class will be, what is our next class? Our next class will be on Thursday. Okay. So I'm going to give you an assignment now. Yeah, I'm going to give you an assignment. Mark. Okay. Now before I give you assignment, can you be able to share us your screen? The last assignment that I gave to you, can you be able to share us your screen? Okay. Anyway, this is your assignment. You are going to build a registration form. Yeah, a registration form. And that registration form is a student registration form. You're getting my point. Let me write it out for you. Write it out for you. Yeah, today is 28th, Tuesday. Yeah, today Tuesday. So it will be based on our form tag. So build a student registration form that has the following. Hi, it's going to have student name. Let me just put it here. It's going to have student name. It's going to have the father's name. It's going to have the mother's name. It's going to have the date of birth of that particular student. You are going to use the date, and the input you are going to use, it will be type. The type will be date. I don't know, you should know how to do that because I've already explained it. And also it will going to have a gender, and I want that gender to be in the radio button as I specify, inside the radio input. You'll be able to select if they are female or male. Also, you're going to have their email, their phone number, um their phone number, and also it's going to have their address, and I want this address to be inside the text area. Are you getting me? You're going to have a state, and also they are going to have a city and a submit button. This is the assignment. Submit it in our next class on Thursday. Please make sure you do your assignment, because I always told you that assignments will boost you in your next class. That's just the benefit of assignment and benefit of making more research. You already know our next topic, and I believe you that our next topic, after you've done your assignment, you start making research on our next topic, which is audio and video element. You understand? So that's that about today's class, and I will see again on Thursday. Yeah, we see again on Thursday. So thank you and good night.